Hey guys, this is Normal here for Technique, and this is the detailed review of the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite. That's the A502CG variant. So ASUS announced a stripped down version of the ASUS Zenfone 5 with specs like the QHD display. It has 1 GB RAM, 1.2 GHz Intel Atom dual core processor, Android 4.4 KitKat, 8 megapixel rear camera, and a 0.3 megapixel front facing camera. So the device comes up with a 2500 milliamp hour battery. That's higher capacity than the original Zenfone 5. So there are quite a lot of things which has been stripped down. First is the HD display that has been brought down to QHD. Then the RAM has been brought down from 2 GB to 1 GB on this device, and also the processor is 1.2 GHz instead of 1.6 on the original ASUS Zenfone 5. So let's have a quick detailed review of the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite. So design and build quality wise, you can see that the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite is almost similar to the Zenfone 5. There isn't any change with respect to the design. You have the chrome finished buttons, you have the pattern at the bottom, and it looks almost similar to the ASUS Zenfone 5. There isn't any change. So if you bring the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite and the Zenfone 5 together, you can't really identify which is the one based on the design. The build quality as usual is really good and feels solid in hands. But the major change with respect to the Zenfone Lite is that the weight has been increased. So that's probably because of the bigger battery capacity, and it feels heavy, around 15 grams increase in weight with respect to the ASUS Zenfone 5. The thickness is also slightly increased, but that's negligible increase. So overall it feels very similar to the ASUS Zenfone 5. Now talking about the display on this Zen Lite variant is a QHD, that's 960 by 540 from the 1280 by 720 on the original Zenfone 5. So the Lite variant has a QHD display, and this is clearly evident from the display. The 5-inch QHD display does look a bit pixelated at times, but overall it's pretty decent. The colors look pretty decent again. The touch response is really good, and it's very much similar to the ASUS Zenfone 5. So overall it's not really the best quality on display, but then it does look pretty good, and you seldom feel that it's a lower resolution display on a 5-inch panel. It also has an IPS panel, and so you can see that the viewing angles are pretty good on this display. Now moving on to the software and performance. So this runs Android 4.4 KitKat out of the box along with the Zen UI. So we already talked about the Zen UI quite a lot of times, and this is one of the best implementations of Android. And you can see there are lots of features being offered. You can hide apps, you can lock apps, you can sort apps, and do a lot of things on this UI. And you can even customize the notification center. So there's a lot of features available on this device. So ASUS Zen UI wise, there isn't any change, and it's exactly the same Zen UI which we found on the ASUS Zenfone 5. Now there is 8 GB internal storage, which is expandable via micro SD card. And on the performance side, this phone comes with a 1.2 GHz Intel Atom dual core processor with 1 GB of RAM. Although the RAM is being stripped down to 1 GB from 2 GB, there isn't any lag or any issues with this device, and the performance is pretty smooth, and we didn't have any issues even with the gaming performance. The gaming was pretty good, although certain games did crash, like the Real Racing 3, which had an issue with almost every Zen phones. So that's probably something to do with the Zen UI. We are not really sure of the reasons, but overall the performance is really snappy and no lag or any issues. Overall software and performance experience is pretty good on this device. Now moving on to the camera, this device sports the same 8 megapixel camera which we had on the ASUS Zenfone 5. So interface is very similar to the ASUS Zenfone 5. So we have lots of modes to choose from. From the settings you can access these are the options. You can record videos in 1080p, and the overall quality of the photos looks pretty good. So the photos have pretty good amount of detailing, just like the ASUS Zenfone 5, but the colors look a bit out of sync from the real colors. But overall the quality of this the camera is pretty good. The video recording is 1080p, and it's again pretty decent. So again, there is a pretty good amount of low light ability in this device, just like the Zenfone 5. So overall in the camera aspect, this device is pretty decent and very similar to the Zenfone 5. Battery capacity, that's 2500 milliamp hour battery on this device when compared to the 2110 on the ASUS Zenfone 5. So battery was one of the major issues with the Zenfone 5. So the company has increased the battery capacity on this device to 2500 milliamp hour. So with this device, the battery performance is pretty better than the original ASUS Zenfone 5, which was struggling to get a day of usage. But this device does get you 1 day of usage with additional battery capacity. So that was a detailed review of the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite variant, the A502CG. So is this device worth the money? So this device is priced around 8,999 in India. That's around 1k lower than the original ASUS Zenfone 5. So for a price of less than 1k, the features cut down on this device is the QHD display. There is only 1 GB of RAM, and then there is also a stripped down variant of the processor, that's 1.2 GHz Intel Atom dual core processor. So ideally we wouldn't really recommend this device, because if you pay additionally 1k, you can get the ASUS Zenfone 5 that is much better than this variants. Unless you're really on a tight budget, it's always advisable to choose the ASUS Zenfone 5 variant instead of the Lite variant. So that's the detailed review of the ASUS Zenfone 5 Lite. Hope you like this video. If you have any specific questions to about this device, you can just drop a comment and we'll be glad to help you out with your queries. If you like this video, do hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos, and thanks for watching this video.